So when we first started our company, we were doing all of our management of cleaners, of everything on our cell phones. And it was a wild mess of text streams. And some people were on the text streams and some weren't. And then this person knew something and the other person didn't. And it was chaos. And so once we managed to get Breezeway into the mix with Hospitable, it just made everything so much easier. We don't have to text to follow up. We know exactly when a property is ready to go. Our cleaners are still always learning, but the software is really easy to understand. And so whenever they have a question, it's easy for me to hop in and just say, oh, well, here's a good suggestion on how you could do that better. I've also been able to work with my cleaners on what our checklists look like and have it so that it works for them and their cleaners. And that looks a little bit different in different markets that we have. And it's totally customizable. So that is super easy to do. Once we set up integration, it just happens. There has never been a situation where a cleaning hasn't shown up when it was supposed to. It is truly seamless. It works great when there are cancellations or when there are changes. We are always on top of things and we never have to worry about whether the right thing was happening when it was supposed to. And that just takes so much pressure off because it's one less thing you have to worry about. Since we first started the technology, not only have we grown in the number of houses that we have, we've also grown our staff. And so we are in a completely different place than we were when we first picked up Breezeway and Hospitable. And the only reason we're where we are is because we picked up Breezeway and Hospitable. We never would have been able to scale the way we have if we had been still relying on the old text stream way of managing things. The only reason that we were able to do this is because we had a system that worked so well and so seamlessly. As we've grown, we've taken on more and more properties, and more properties mean more and more things that you need to mind, you need to keep track of. It has allowed us to make sure that routine things that only happen once a quarter or once every few months are scheduled and that they actually happen, so we don't forget. It also allows us to follow up with just checkups on things, like kind of like a health report, like, hey, every few months we should really check and make sure that all the pillows are still in good shape. And those things are the kinds of things that it occurs to you, we should do that. But now that we have Breezeway in place and we can make use of our templates to create these lists of things that we can do, and then we can run them and we can remember what we did a few months ago, and we can do the same thing across properties and then across time. There are so many things that you can't automate, that you want to have your finger on and you want to touch and make sure that that's exactly the way you want it to be for your guests. So anything that you can do that can be automated, that can be made simpler, gives you more time to think about the things that are really more important to you. It isn't important to me that I spend time scheduling cleanings, but they have to get scheduled. And they'd be really important. If it would be bad if I didn't schedule them, but it doesn't take any effort from me. And it allows me to spend time on the things that I think are more important for our guests.